Hey, I'm Jase from Duck Dynasty, and you're watching Pavlina's Kidz Place.
Hey everyone, this is Pavlina from Pavlina's Kidz Place, and I am here with Jase Robertson of the mega hit show, Duck Dynasty. Hey!
Yeah, hey, how you doing?
I'm great. Yeah.
I'm enjoying the hospitality here. A lot of people showing up, so that's good.
Yeah, it's definitely great. Florida always has, you know, we're hospitality kind of people.
Yeah.
So being famous, what has that done that was like really good, and what has it done that was like kind of bad?
The good thing is it's all the notoriety we've gotten gives us a great platform to share our faith and to try to help people. And what we've noticed is there's a lot of kids who watch our show when they're in the hospital and going through tough times, but it's a healthy distraction.
Yeah.
So we get to meet them. Those are things that are life-changing moments for us.
Yeah.
The bad is probably dealing with my own kids, because it's hard to be famous and keep your perspective and stay grounded.
True.
So we have a lot of what we call come to Jesus meetings at our house, and we try to keep them humble and keep the proper perspective. So
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I was going dorm shopping because I have a summer program coming up, and I turned around and I had a bunch of like Duck Dynasty ducks, like what's it called? The cups, like right behind me. Do you ever go into like a store and see a bunch of your products?
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I go up and I
see
see a T-shirt and I'm like, that's my face on it. That's weird.
Yeah.
But it's important to some people and they want to show their support. So I'm good with it. I can always leave and go to the woods if it's too creepy. So
If you get too creeped out, just go to the woods.
I do.
Yeah.
I go to the woods, have some alone time. Enjoy nature, and it's kind of the way I cope with it all.
What is like your best secret for catching frogs?
I think the best secret for catching frogs is you got to find where there's moss, vegetation. Frogs love to, hang out in vegetation. And then once you see them, you got to keep the light on them.
Okay.
And then if they jump, you have to jump.
Yeah.
And that's the secret to catching them.
There you go.
So,
now everyone knows.
Yeah, they're delicious. They're one of the greatest things you can eat if they're fresh.
Yes.
Don't freeze them. If you can't eat them like the next day, don't even go.
Yeah. How long have you gone without eating a frog?
Not very long. I mean, every year when the spring comes around, we just kind of follow the seasons.
Yeah.
We were kind of organic before that became cool. We go to God's grocery store and we pick out what we want to eat and we eat it. And a lot of it is a Louisiana thing, so it's nice.
That's cool. Definitely cool. So what have been like your biggest like career or business mistakes?
I'm not really a business guy. To tell you the truth, every time I had a way to better myself, financially, I never picked it because I was like, I enjoy building duck calls.
Yeah.
I love commercial fishing the river. I want to do what I love to do.
Exactly.
And, if I get paid doing it, great. If not, it's no big deal to me. I'm not a real materialistic guy. I'm a more relationship person. That's what my book's about.
Yeah.
If you're around people you love and you have an unselfish attitude in life, it'll be more meaningful, instead of trying to chase something that only, lasts for a short time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I was actually reading part of your book, and it was definitely all about families. That's great.
Yeah.
So the Duck Dynasty, you guys have every product, kind of like what we were talking about before, from like underwear to Band-Aids to wine to all kinds of clothing. Was there ever a product that like never made it to the store because you guys were just like, no way?
Well, I mean, like that stuff, A&E, and Duck Dynasty, they put a lot of products out there. And then Duck Commander, which my brother Willie owns, and he reminds me of that often. They have their line of products. The only thing I really come up with is in the duck call line. And I guess, we've had some people send us some requests for like strange birds. And they're like, can you make this sound? And I've tried to make some of the sounds of different birds, and I guess some of that stuff is still on the cutting room floor, because it's hard to make a bird sound. And,
True, yeah.
It's just hard to do. So, but I've always been into that for probably 30 years. I go out into the woods and I'll find whatever birds, I'm trying to make the sound, and I listen to them. And then I'll practice and trial and error, and that's how we come up with the duck calls.
Yeah, and you made the triple threat, so like...
Made the triple thread. It was the first triple reeded duck call. They had tried them before, but they took too much air to operate, because the more reeds you have, the more air you got to put in them.
Yeah.
But I figured out a way to do it where it was pretty easy. And it was a unique mallard hen sound. So I was kind of proud of it. It took me like a year to perfect it. So but it's fun.
I'd find that really hard. I don't know about you, but like I'd be like,
Yeah, I think you just got to have a knack for it, you
Yeah,
know. But when I finally got the call perfected, I went out into, you know, the lake, and there was some mallards around, and we had a conversation. It was kind of like we had a moment. I was calling. They thought I was a duck, and they were talking back to me, and I thought, okay, this will work.
Yeah. Do you ever just like mess around with them and like?
Oh yeah, we have conversations. I just don't know exactly what we're saying.
Oh
you know?
yeah, definitely.
So it's pretty fun.
Yeah. So that's your next thing. Next thing can be like a translator, you know?
Yeah, translator. I'm usually like, hey, it's a good time over here, you know.
Yeah,
Of course, we're trying to put them on the grill sometimes, so that's kind of scary.
When your Uncle Si signs his books, he always puts John 16 and 17. What do you usually put with your books?
I usually have a little era coming down, and I have a cross and a little tomb, and an era coming up, and an era coming back, which is the story of Jesus. And I just think that, you know, a life in Jesus is a more meaningful life. It gives you purpose, it gives you forgiveness, and it gives you hope. So, and even if, you know, people don't believe that, I don't judge them or, you know, have any ill feelings. I just think, you know, it's something to consider in life, and I think it brings more meaning to your life. So that's usually what I put.
Now you have maybe some relatives in politics, and like what is like the first thing that I noticed with Zach Dasher was that he doesn't have a beard. Are you guys going to tell him to get one?
Yeah, you know, he's always been Mr. Clean. That's what my dad calls him, because he just, you know, he looks like he come out of a cover of a magazine, you know. But, you know, he's real intelligent. He loves the Lord. He has a great family. He's one of the best people I've ever met in my life. So I thought, you know, if anybody could make a difference, I mean, I really trust and value this guy. So I hope it works out for him.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much for talking to me.
Thanks. I enjoyed it. It's been great.